Been since Valentine's Day.
Listen,
I said months.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Well, it has been months. I mean, a month. Ain't it April? Hell, I don't know.
Not
No,
yet.
it's not
Shit.
yet.
It might as well be.
I wish.
It's her birthday month. That's why she rushing.
That's why I'm like...
She rushing. It's her birthday month.
I don't even care about my birthday. I'm ready for my trip in May. That's what I'm ready for. I need a vacation.
Yes.
But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. If you are live, we decided to kind of switch it up a little bit. As y'all notice, we don't have the mics. And also, we have a special guest today. This is Donyel, my good girl Donyel. So she's going to have some great insight. So anyway.
Represent for the chocolate sister.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yes.
I love all my sisters though.
Yes. So anyway, y'all already know what it is. It's your girl Cece.
It's your girl Amber.
And Sierra. I love that personality.
Yes, we try. So anyway, we have I feel like a really deep, we've been gone for y'all for a while, so we had to come strong. You feel me? Like we had to get up in there. So we're talking on the long controversial topic of, in the black community, of course, light skin versus dark skin. Repping team light skin, repping team dark skin. She said D? Girl, I know what that's a sorority, ain't that?
It probably is, but
whatever it is. But anyway, so this is I just feel like, with it being 2019, the fact that this is still a topic probably is a little shameful, but it's real. So I just wanted to go in on it and hear the thoughts and the cast members of A Time to Unwine. We a little on the light side, so I wanted to get a nice...
We needed some shots.
I feel alone. I need somebody right here.
But listen, you are not alone. You are beautiful.
Right,
you are bomb. I love Donyel. Just a real quick little story time. So I know Donyel through our husbands, our beautiful
Radio Shack.
Yes, them Radio Shack days. What you know about it? Radio Shack. They got up out that bitch.
Right.
But it's good though. No. But yeah, so they were good friends, and then we had a connection, and she's just been cool, man. She is literally, I'm telling you, one of the just realest females I know. Like,
thank you.
Gives great insight. The girl knows how to party first and foremost.
Listen, we're going to Christmas business after this.
Hey, Christmas is out of town.
Seriously,
honey, I'm going to bed.
Listen, when the dogs are away, the cats will play. Okay. Look, this used to be, we would have parties. They had a party one time. This girl got me so drunk, I was on the sidewalk outside, laid out, like.
I like to have a good time.
I was one.
When was this?
Girl, a few years ago. It was his birthday party.
I think you guys have been to all the parties. The 90s
all the
party.
But that's the one, the 90s party. Yeah. But that one, I'm telling you, there's a picture out there floating out there of me laying on the sidewalk.
I'm going to find it later for you guys. I'm going to send it to them so they can put it in the footage.
And yes, I was one with the ants. I was gone. But anyway, so yes, I love Donyel. She is real. I love D.
Yes.
So,
and Corey, vice versa. Great energy. I like the realness. I can vibe women that are real, that are good with themselves. I know it's something that we are all searching to do, but we need to know we can approach our sisters with, loving eyes, loving hands.
That's real.
Corey has welcomed me with that energy, and I just have been so great to reciprocate that back. So,
all right, love fest. Let's get on this goddamn mic and
shit.
Shameless plug. If y'all need y'all hair did. Where is it?
I am at NB Salon. I'm in Fishers. Don't say, when I say Fishers, they be like, wow, I'm right off the highway. Okay, I'm right off the highway from Castleton.
She got a nice salon.
Yes, it is really nice.
I need the whole experience.
Yes.
My ladies, we need to be pampered. We need to be treating ourselves. I'm very blessed to be able to provide these services to our hardworking women out there, our mothers. We are doing great things out there, so it shouldn't be you sit in the salon for 6 hours for a 2-hour hairstyle. Like, no. We're scheduling right. We're doing professional business, and That's where I'm at with it. So.
Right on. So support.
MB Salon.
Yes, MB Salon.
Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, for sure. We plugging. So anyway, so let's get started. So light skin versus dark skin.
Oh, feel the heat over here.
Look, all eyes on you. But no,
I'm very happy to. I mean, to be honest, like I said, I had a good friend. I've been friends with her for years. Where she is a light skin, one of my light skin sisters. And I was really hoping to address like how other women may feel because I mean, and although I don't feel that energy a lot of times when I look at women, I want to know if it's a better way to approach, other women, especially of a different complexion, because if that's the case, I want to know, and I want to embrace that.
I mean, honestly, as an adult, I feel like it's gotten better for like me personally dealing with darker skinned women and like just with the issues that I've had like with high school and stuff. It's just me personally, I'm gonna just talk about my own experiences that I went from an all white school to Hal and it was a complete culture shock. I was not, now mind you, I was timid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold that thought. We didn't do our sit before we start. I forgot. It's been a while.
Stop talking.
I'm sorry. We have to do this right. We have to Christian it right. I am so sorry. We have to. It's only right. We have to do communion. All right.
Bless this podcast.
Let's bless. It's already blessed. Yes.
Shut this shit down.
Shush. Yes. Clank, clank, clank. Clank it up. Yes.
I don't know what I was saying now. I don't know why you stopped me because
I remember
mid-sentence.
I'm sorry.
I don't even know.
I had to do it. I had to do it. Okay.
Shut that shit up.
All right, but as you were saying, going to Hal.
So I went to Hal from all white Catholic school.
All
right, that's another thing. Now I was timid. I didn't know. And I'm weird anyways. I mean, everybody already says I'm fucking weird. But I'm just I was just not accepted by any black women at all. And it's not even, like, honestly, at that point in stage, I don't feel like it was overlooks or anything because I was a hit child. My auntie broke all my hair off. Sorry, Serena, you did.
The life of every black girl.
I had to wear braids.
Every.
Yeah.
Wear braids all day, yes. Braids all the time. My teeth, I didn't have my braces in yet, and I was still in the tomboy stage, so I didn't care about my appearance whatsoever. But still, even trying to be friends with black women, I was shut down. Like, I tried. Like, I legit went out of my way. That was like the first people I tried to hang out with.
Wow.
And nah.
They wasn't having it.
Not at all. Yeah. So, I went to white people.
Oh, Lord. Well, I want to interject on that thought because I feel like in our communities, I mean, even for myself, I came from Atlanta. I mean, my mama, hopefully she's not watching this. I was so pissed when we moved from Atlanta, which was a culturally diverse. I grew up in an area outside of Atlanta called, I think it was Smyrna at the time. But it was everything from Chinese to Indian. I mean, everything was there. So when I came to Gary, for elementary school, I was also in a total culture shock. I had to also, they weren't even embracing me. Yeah. It was something that I really couldn't understand because I wanted, like you said, I wanted that. Yeah. I'm like, oh great, I'm getting to be around those people, and these kids are like, get your ass out of here. It's like they're not welcoming anything, and it just became to the point where I became a target. And I feel like within our communities, that's a lot of times these kids, they smell it on you. I feel like it's almost like, it's a weakness that they seek it. I mean, they see it, and once they hone in on it, you become a target.
You're going to have to change your songs. It's going to get me hyped, and I can't.
Right.
I can't hear this.
It's awful. But I feel like it shouldn't be a color thing. I feel like at this point it should be the mentality that most black communities have is fight or flight. I had to either man up or I was going to get picked on. Yeah. I mean, at that point, I didn't see it as a color thing. I saw my problem was just the fitting. Like you said, you don't have to be weird. You can just be, I mean, you're allowed to be whoever the hell you want to be, but in the black community, there's no room for you to be anything else but all the time 150% ghetto black.
Yeah.
And it doesn't leave room for the children that have parents. Oh, you talk proper. Oh, you Oreo.
Hold on, you talk white. You sound white.
Right.
You sound right. Are you white? I got that all the time. That was the story of my life when I had moved to Dayton, Ohio. And my sister, I had moved with my sister, and she had moved us, which it was a culture shock for me. She moved us into, it was a predominantly white community, like literally, and it was a just building community. So like literally for, I would say, probably like a good year, like we were literally the only black people in the actual neighborhood. It was just all white. It might have been like one other family. So I went to an all-white school, was the only black girl in my grade, so I totally, you know what I'm saying, understand that. And I used to get that, and I was in like 3rd grade, so like from 3rd to like 5th grade, I was really like the only black kid. That I will say that honestly did something to me because of being around that. That was such a culture shock, because when I was here, Indianapolis, I was used to being around my people. I was used to being, but that's all I knew. Really, now that I think about it, I don't think I ever really was around white people like that. Like, that's all I knew was black. Like, my life was black. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But yeah, I did get that, being around the white kids. And then it started becoming a weird feeling of, like, if we would go to church, for example, our church was obviously predominantly black. So then sometimes maybe being around those kids, I'm like, you talk white, and it was that weird feeling of like, okay, I'm black, I'm physically black, but the culture that I know is like white now. So it was, you know what I'm saying? I struggled with that to the point where I felt a little, really honestly, I started to become uncomfortable around my own people, which was crazy because that's all I knew was black. And then to be switched, I'm like, now I don't even feel
like you fit.
Well, I don't like even feel like I fit.
Yeah, I think that sometimes we are, as women, we're getting that confused at times with us looking as a light skin or dark skin. I think it's more so in our communities is who feels loved, who is looking valued.
Exactly.
And then you become that target.
Yeah.
It's not, I feel like it's not more so of a, you know, light skin. I mean, it just happens to be that there are some, you know, light skin girls in there that, you know, they're popular, they have nice clothes. You know, so they add along to the package. But, you know, I would see the same, another dark skinned girl, and she can get her hair done, have J's on, they treated her the same way. Like I said, I think it made it easy for me to be friends with a fair skinned girl because there was no no. I mean, we got along. I felt like we pulled the same amount of men just equally. You know, it wasn't a, oh no. And I honestly, even going to school with a rainbow of black women, I never felt like there was one that didn't connect with me because I was dark skinned, or she felt like maybe hopefully on her end that I looked at them as to be something to, you know. Why wouldn't I approach her like, oh, she like, I don't want to mess with her. It wasn't like that. You had to have something personality-wise for me to just not, you know, mess with you.
Well, that's good. You got a very, maybe, I don't know, maybe it is rare, but that's kind of rare because I do know some darker complected skin women that don't have that same experience. I have friends, I've had like past like best friends and stuff that were darker complected. And a lot of, they don't have that experience. You know, they would have that experience of, you know, being bullied because of their skin. Or I had one in particular, she even actually openly admitted to me, she was like, I'm not going to lie, for a long time I was that bully to the light-skinned chicks because it's always, when we're light-skinned, it's already that complex. Oh, you light-skinned, you think you cute. The boys people naturally are, you know, partial to you because of the fact that you're lighter complected or you got good hair. The whole good hair thing.
I have good hair.
Well,
we can see. No, it's so much that
my hair ain't good. I love my hair. I'm just saying.
That was back in like the 2000s.
Now
it was lit. Okay, now it's lit.
I had to relax my shit. I relaxed it.
Yes.
Be who you are, sister. Now it is accepted.
I love my hair.
Yes.
But I had a friend, she was like, I used to be that angry, dark-skinned girl. Like, she even one time, she admitted to me that, but she admitted it was self-hate. It always goes into self-hate. She was like, I didn't even like my own skin. She said that she would like be in the shower, like literally rubbing her, like trying to wash off to get her skin to be lighter. And I'm just like, wow, like that's crazy.
Did she ever figure out where that came from?
That's a good question. I do not know.
Because I feel like, I don't know this person, I don't want to talk about appearance or anything, but I feel like honestly that comes down to the majority of appearance.
You do bring up a good point. She did have a little bit of rift, like with her dad. You know, I think some of it did come from like her dad, and you know, and sometimes just insecurities come from. What you see, like you had brought up. Look at even, especially back then, you got to think we was like kids in the 90s and stuff like that in the early 2000s. So look at what it was portraying on our own stations, on BET, on rap videos, on hip hop
like
videos.
darker women were far and few. We had Kenya Moore, who happens to be on the Housewives, who of course was on every relaxer box. The representation for us was just. And it still is. I mean, although it's growing now, it's not there.
Yeah.
We don't have a culture. Our culture still struggling with embracing darker skinned women.
Yeah.
And I don't really feel like it's necessary because, like, you know, we're talking about families. Within our own families, some of our children are light and dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't even, you can be with the same man. I mean, who knows where these genes are coming from? But, you know, so now, you know, these families, you know, what do you do with those? What are they doing in their household to make sure that their kids don't look at each other as if one is being favored and one is not?
Yeah.
I mean, I had two sisters who are fair skinned, and you know, me and my other two. You know, so there was, but growing up there, I felt like there was no difference.
Yeah.
You know, I had an aunt that was dark, and this one's like, my mom is light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, lighter complected. She's the same color as Corey. Look at me. You know, so there was no way for me to feel.
Yeah.
You know, but I know it's not across the board.
That doesn't resonate with everybody. Yeah.
But I'm guessing maybe there was no insecurity for me to actually feel.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Which is
it.
really
but that's
good for you to have that upbringing of being included and feeling inclusive.
But there were times.
I
did not like this, you know, being my complexion.
Yeah.
There were times like, you know, they take a picture, we need to turn a flash on for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things like that. And actually being pictures, you need to turn the flash on. So, you know what I mean? Like, turn the flash on.
Yes, exactly. You gonna make a way for me.
Like to look pale. But I want to be seen.
Exactly.
But, you know, and even understanding that and being able to talk to someone, let them know that wasn't insecurity for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, you know, at the same time, I mean, it's just a picture of shit. We all got bad
ones, exactly. Exactly.
Right. You all got that one photo like, why they post that?
That shit.
She don't like me today. So
I see my Google photo back up.
Exactly. Yeah. See, I feel like I'm the same way. Like, that's how my family is. It's actually crazy because I'm like one of very few light-skinned people in my family. Like, everybody is dark. My aunt is dark and beautiful. I love my family. So that's all I knew was like, I mean, we got a few that's like my complexion or whatever, but most of them. So I didn't know that. So also too, with that being said, I wasn't that quote unquote light skinned girl that was going to sit up here and be stuck up. It's actually crazy. I feel like I was the light skinned girl who would be quick to stand up for if I seen a dark skinned girl, because to me it's ignorant. You know what I'm saying? I just never understood it. It's ignorant. Like, we are black. Like, I never really fuck light skin, dark skin. Like, we are black at the end of the day. Like, that's what makes us beautiful, is that we do have all of these different.
We are exotic.
Very exotic. Okay.
On so many levels.
We are so exotic on so many levels. So, I never, like, we had brought up, that was one of the questions that I was going to ask y'all. So, do you guys feel it natural that you just kind of naturally like go to like all the light skinned people? Like, do you have darks, like kind of a mixture of friends? What is?
I mean, I have a really good friend who's dark skinned. Shout out Bridget. Hey, bitch. But I mean,
I have like medium skin.
That's what I'm like
in the middle.
Is it?
But I don't do it
light
intentionally. It
skin?
just seems like it's just something
just
that
happens.
naturally.
Yeah.
Like in high school, I feel like all light skinned chicks linked up.
Just it was natural.
Not like purposely, but it's like because I didn't feel accepted by dark skinned women.
Most of the light skinned girls had at least 2 dark skin was in there because they knew they would beat everybody else. That was they knew that was like a bodyguard. Like, ooh, like, okay, I see her there when you well, that's mostly what we represented within those friendships and those cliques like that.
Yeah.
I'm never as cute.
Wow. Yeah, I never had that. I
didn't have that.
I'm really thinking like, I don't.
You don't have no like dark. But is it just, that's just how it, is? Or do you think, like, subconsciously it's intentional and you just don't realize it? Or it's just
I think that's just how it happened.
I don't know. I feel like I naturally click better because of... It's going to sound fucking horrible.
Yeah, I know what you're about to say.
What?
Say it.
I want to hear it.
I stay ready. We
know your heart is pure.
I know it is.
We know.
Just say it. Come on, say it, girl.
I just feel like I naturally click up with light-skinned chicks because just out of the same type of experience. Majority of the time when I meet another light-skinned chick, she's dealt with the same type of shit that she's dealt from darker-skinned women. Mm-hmm. So you can relate, and it's easy, it's natural. You already have the same type of history, and it just vibes naturally. I feel like it's not like you do it intentionally, but I just gravitate towards that more.
But do you think that, like, even me coming in the room, you two never met me. I know when people read me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not to say, but you reading me. Are you reading me to be, all that. Yeah, because I mean, are you reading me to be...
No, not at all.
See, to brace me or to really understand, like, is she going to be one of these confrontational black women?
Yeah.
Are you reading me? Are you coming in?
I didn't read you from your profile picture for a second. I was even talking to her. I was like, I don't know how on edge should I be with her. Should I be able to say exactly what I need to be? Is she gonna be exactly? But I mean, is she gonna be like on edge? You know what I mean? Like one of them people that's gonna be like, you want to have this conversation, but she may take offense to everything I'm about to say. No. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm just questioning it because that could be the type of person that you are. If you haven't really felt or dealt with this type of shit and you haven't really thought about these things and these feelings and all these emotions that you've actually dealt with. Like, there's still people that dark-skinned women still feel this day that they hate light-skinned bitches. Yeah. There's still light-skinned bitches that hate dark-skinned bitches because they felt like, I am so sorry. Which is crazy. Bitches. No, I apologize.
It's crazy. When we say bitches, we mean
and
love
creatures. But when we in the dog line, when we're talking about it with our friends, we're saying bitches. We want the realness to be. I want to hear what's real because that's how I can, like I said, I want to make sure that that's not the vibe I'm giving off.
No, I didn't get that vibe. Once I met you, I didn't think that. I was like, she'll be fine.
People to be able to, understand that me coming in the room, or what have you, is we are feeding off each other's energy. Exactly. I don't want my, another sister to sit there just because she's light skinned and look at me as if, like you said, questioning how I'm coming to you. Mm-hmm. It's almost like I'm carrying a stereotype of how I'm, what you think I'm coming into this conversation.
Yeah. And that's a great dialogue. I love that you said that. That is great because you bring up a great point. Like sometimes because of, like she said, what we just naturally carry, we don't realize that we are giving that aura off. Mm-hmm. I talk to my husband about that all the time, about how sometimes our reality and our perception in our head is different from the reality that we're projecting. So I love that. That is so true. Like, and maybe
that's why I bring it up because you both reading me. Because I come in the room, and not saying it's a bad thing because I read everybody too.
We all do.
That's what we do. But I don't want you to instantly read me as this, or what you think that I'm coming to, or come with a clean slate, no bias of what I'm, bringing to this table. Because sometimes I think that subconsciously, like when you, looking what, we're automatically looking at what this woman's coming from instead of giving her a clean slate. Just hello, how you doing? Open conversation.
I feel that same way too because people think of, like, I found out later on in life, like when I first started at Geico, everybody in there thought I was a stuck-up bitch. Now, mind you, I have a resting bitch face.
I get it.
And I know that makes you a sister, okay? Because let me tell you, my
So, like, I know, like, for me, I make a conscious effort because I honestly, literally had no idea that I gave off that vibe.
Yeah, you don't know. Especially,
I really had no idea for the longest. What?
I don't work on it.
I tried to.
I've been around a lot of women. I truly, honestly feel like I've gotten that. how people feel like they should approach you. I lose, you know, to this day, you know, as being 35 years old, I'm still losing people in my life because of what they think.
Exactly.
Who I actually, or what is actually really going on. So when I see women, like if you come in and I know you read me, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm up for the challenge. Read me because I want to show, I want to bring something different. My goal on this earth is why I'm here, and I tell my daughters or any other woman I'm around is to embrace. It's never to. I don't ever want a sister to be in a room and she feels like she doesn't have anybody to stand by. Exactly. And that's why, you know, I feel like it's great to open this discussion because this could be the start of a, you know, a light skinned woman saying, "Hey, baby, how am I looking at this?" Or a dark skinned woman like, "Well, how she you know." How she take, maybe I should go introduce myself instead of thinking she's stuck up. Maybe I should go say hi. And I'm sure she's going to turn around and smile at me.
And that's real.
Exactly. Which is what I've always done. It's always been reciprocated with a smile. It's the same energy I bring to every room. I come in with it.
I say that all the time.
Unless you give me a reason.
Yes, I do. I say that all the time. Usually the energy that you put out is what you were going to... That's what you're gonna get. It's about reciprocation. Like you have to reciprocate that energy. Like you're just gonna get it. Like you said, especially us being black women, there is no reason. People are already against us. Like we are the most unprotected people on this planet. So there's no reason for us to sit up here and be doing that against each other. Like everything else is already against us, you know? We have to stick together. So that's why I said this conversation, it is so important. It is so important because at the end of the day, it's ignorant. It's ignorant. It's just straight. It's just.
We are all defensive about something that there's nothing to be defensive about.
Exactly.
We are. I mean, we're naturally just on the defense. Like it seems like that, but you know, we're defensive to the wrong people.
No,
you know, we need to make a. You know, we need to be welcoming. A lot more welcoming. I have a daughter who's 9. I want her to be welcomed. By any sister that, well, you know, not all, you know, because you can't, you know, vibe with everybody, but those ones that she wants to vibe with. You know, I would like it to be open to her, open, you know, it's a sisterhood. Whether or not we all, light skin, dark skin, like Tori's saying, we all are bonded in some type of way. Whether you're half and half or whatever. A part of your blood still runs through my veins.
Exactly.
So we need to get an understanding of that. Like I said, they used to call me and my friend the light skin, dark Michael Jackson and the dark skin Michael Jackson. You know, it was a going joke. It was a going joke with us. You know, I mean, with our friendship and whatnot. And I mean, I think that, you know, I felt that people were, you know, maybe in my head, because I didn't want to see it, that, you know, everything is okay. But maybe it wasn't always okay. Maybe I just allowed myself to just not make it a thing. Because I did have, you know, skin issues. You know, I was like, oh, I'm the darkest person, and I don't want to wear black. I wear black all the time. All the time. Like, it makes me look slim. You know, just different little crazy things we think when we're young, but we're allowed to grow up, and we're allowed to make our own opinions, get our own ideas, and really find out what the truth is.
That is true.
So it's our job now to sit here
and have this discussion. And then I do have a question, because all of you guys actually have little girls. All of you guys are mothers to beautiful little girls. So what does that conversation look like to your daughters, passing that down? Are you having these discussions? Are you making sure that they know that, look, black, whatever skin color black is beautiful? Are these conversations that you're having? Because I do feel like that is a big thing. We need to break these cycles, you know, of these stories that we have of being bullied by a light-skinned girl or being bullied by a dark-skinned girl. There's a reason for that. Like we said, that it has to start somewhere. I can only imagine that it starts in the home. So what are those conversations looking like with you guys to your daughters?
Well, I know with my daughter, it's not even like within our community. She just has, I mean, her school is diverse, but, like, I don't know, when Frozen came out, that movie, like, took over everybody, and she wanted to look like the Elsa. She wanted
the platinum hair.
She wanted the Elsa braid. That Elsa braid is all I got asked.
You know, platinum blonde, you looking like Eve with
that. And I'm like, baby girl, your hair don't do that Elsa braid. Listen, it does not work like that, honey. So,
oh my goodness.
I had to, it took me a while, because it, like, she used to call herself, at the age of, like, whenever Elsa came out, my daughter's 7 now. I don't know, that was like 4 years ago? To the age of 3 that my daughter's saying this?
Wow.
That she doesn't feel beautiful because she doesn't have this type of hair.
That bothers. Oh my goodness.
Like,
she actually told you shit?
Yeah, she did. She's like, I hate my hair. Like, she told me she did not like it.
That is terrible.
Yeah, so like, I don't even know where that came from. It's not like, you know what I mean, at that early of an age. Yeah. And plus, I mean, I will say that her daycare was majority white, so maybe, I don't know, she's seen these type of girls with straight hair, long straight hair. She wanted her hair straight, and it took me a while to get her to, I stopped wearing my hair straight, like embracing, like, I mean, I didn't really have it straight like that back then anyways. It's still not a natural thing, but like, straightening it and whatnot, I didn't do that for a while, just to get her back. Mommy loves her hair beautiful, natural. Yes. Your hair is beautiful the way it is. Yes. Like, and then even now she sees me put makeup on, like, you know, she wants to put makeup on, like, baby, you're beautiful the way you are. Now she even says, Mom, why are you wearing makeup? You're beautiful the way you are. I'm like, girl. That is so right, girl. You're right, baby. Yes. So, like, it's just switching that mindset of seeing what you see. Like, all the stuff's portrayed. That goes into a whole nother point. What's seen on any type of TV, Netflix, whatever you see. Like, she ain't on social media. She's too young for that. But like, what's portrayed as beautiful, even to everything that we watch. Like, what is there? Does anybody watch BET anymore? Like,
that's gonna have to be a no for me.
No,
we want a disclaimer, but Viacom owns it. It's not really black TV. It's not really black TV. So
I mean, like, what is there to see for the black community to see? I mean, we got what? Scandal is gone now. How to Get Away with Murder. Like, TGIT, that was my shit.
Oh my god.
But what else do you see out there? We got Empire. Empire is a hot fucking mess. I'm sorry, I don't watch this shit anymore.
Soap opera.
It is. It's too much.
The kids should be watching
Power, but that's my shit. But that's still not. What is that portraying us as black people? Do we have
on this girl?
Like, it's just with a
like
the white
love.
Even if you think with Scandal, it was like, yes, it was this black woman in power, but it was this black woman that couldn't have her own man. She had to keep on having an affair with two white men of power. Like, the white woman, I mean, the black woman couldn't just stand on her own. Like, she had to be, you know, that it, like, even still, when they do show us in power, sometimes it still be like them little undertone kind of shots.
She married white men too.
She married white men.
Yep.
And Shonda.
What's up, girl? Come on,
what is going on?
She's not really married to no white man.
What is this?
You know, that's the thing that really, representation these days in general has to start at home with these kids, because and
you're not gonna get it.
You're not gonna get it out here. You know, it's the I don't like to push separation, but then, you know, if you're not in the community, you're not really versed in it. So therefore, they need to let these communities do everything: police, politics, everything, and let them handle, because their representation is exactly what they're looking like every day. What they put on that TV, that is not what we look like every day
at all.
It's not what we live every day, and it's hard. I explained to my daughter, looking in the mirror, that everything in this home, this is your safe place. You allowed to feel how you want to feel.
Yes.
You allowed to talk about what you want to talk about. This is a total safe zone. I don't want to call it a black thing or whatever. It's a safe zone. And as far as her hair goes, if you have a question or concern about it, ask about it. I wear wigs 90% of the time. I'm a hairstylist. I don't want to be one of those ones you come in and my hair all over my head. Pop a wig on it, keep it going. You know, keep pushing. I mean, you trust me. But, you know, so I don't want her to feel like, oh, you know, the question of wigs comes up. You know, Meek Mill's no chick with front lace. Well, let me tell you, dealing with black hair is a beast. We all know. You know what I mean? So we don't have all the time to do all these things and keep our hair great. Put a wig on and keep going.
Exactly.
That's our business. That's our business. What we choose to represent ourselves at the end of the day when we leave. It's what fits if it fits our lifestyle. If we want to wear straight hair today, I'm not gonna. Why would we put all that heat in your natural hair? Put a wig on
and damage it.
I don't want a wig.
It's not that bad.
I'm scared.
Come on, it's not. You're allowed to represent yourselves as whatever you see fit. We need to stop allowing people to tell us what represents us.
That's real.
What we're allowed to look like. If we do straight hair, we want to be white. No, we just maybe want to have straight hair today.
I just want to change it up.
Yes. Why do we gotta feel like we're going?
But nobody talks about white girls and them putting perms in their hair and make their hair.
We do.
That's a whole
we talk about it.
Well, we talk about it, but it's not really out there like that. You know.
They're allowed to represent us in any form that they want to, whether it's on a black woman or not.
Because black people is cool to them.
Black people, yes, everybody wants to be black.
They don't want to be black.
They don't want to
sacrifice.
They don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to sacrifice.
Shit, I gotta go applying for jobs. I can't have this shit out.
and that's terrible.
Even that though, like,
that's terrible.
why do we have to think, like, why do we always have to change ourselves? White people, they don't be in there thinking like, oh, let me go and press
what
this
kind of
nigga
hair
today.
can I wear?
No, they
What kind of hair do I gotta slap on my head
They
today?
don't give a damn. They will go out the house in an interview with some damn flannel pajamas on
my
and get the
hair's
job.
not
Get the job. You know what I'm saying? But this is the stuff that we have to think about.
We have to be perfect.
You know, we have to be perfect. We have to straighten our hair when we are talking to white people in high places. Oh, we have to start talking proper and talk like this and hey, John, and all of this stuff like that. They don't do that shit for us. Why are we so afraid to be who we are? Why are we? Even that mentality, and that's not to down nobody, because I ain't gonna lie, I would do that. Like, yeah, you know, you have to make them feel comfortable. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Somebody need to make us feel comfortable, because at the end of the day, this was ours first before anybody's.
Like
but then we sat up there and we let these people, like you said, tell us what's right. What's wrong?
And they're telling us who to love. They're telling us not to even love my light-skinned sister.
Yeah.
They are telling us every day. They're telling you not to love me for what, you know, because that's not what we need.
That's
they don't need us to come
though.
Together. Right. And we need to stop taking that mentality of being oppressed by something that's looming over us like a bad cloud.
Yes.
We are allowed to represent and do what we want with ourselves when we feel like it. If you don't like it, you're allowed to go over there.
Exactly.
You know,
right.
We need, even in our own communities, we need to be okay with that. Well, I don't rock with Amber. Well, then I just don't rock with her.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't need to turn to a light skin thing and then it's okay to say, you know, she alright, but I don't rock with her like that. Let's just be honest about these conversations instead of putting it on all these other things. Yeah, you know, we just need to be, and we need to be open with, again, embracing each other, and then stop letting oppression loom over us all the time. We are allowed, again, to just say it one, and hopefully the last time we are allowed to represent ourselves the way we see fit. Yeah. If you like comic books, if you like to stay at home and read, if you don't like to turn up, if you do like to turn up, if you like to twerk in the club, whatever it looks like for you, you're allowed to do it. We need to stop saying our sisters like that. Yes, we got a dialect. We got a dialect with each other. Like, if I told my kids the other day, I said, if we're at home in this house and I say, I asked Tyler, I said, my son, my youngest, I said, what am I saying? Oh, and I asked my daughter. He said, my daughter goes, I ain't got. Now my son goes, I don't have. Thank you. We're allowed to have a dialect in this home.
Yes.
I know when you go out the door, you know what's what. But in this home, you're allowed to be whatever you want to be. So if I want to go home and say ratchet shit, then I'll go home and say ratchet shit.
You sound like me. I swear I just had this talk with Jarrell. Listen, I just had this talk with Jarrell, I swear, like a week ago. Like, he's starting to get to the point where I said, when I'm in my home, I'm in my home. Look, like, I'm going to be who the fuck I'm going to be in my damn house. So if I don't want to speak a full, clear sentence that day, I'm not going, and don't correct me. Okay? Because I'm allowed. Because when I go out here, again, like I said, I have to be polished and all of that shit like that. When I come in my house, you
don't act
you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I'm finna come over there. Like,
correct me again, I'm fitting to whoop your ass. Don't correct me. I'm in my house. So, but you are so right. We are allowed to be who we are, but then being who you are, that could bring up a whole nother other thing, because the thing is that a lot of us don't even really know who we are. Yeah. So you have to know who you are first before you can even know what that looks like, know what that feels like. Everything starts with self. When you can get it right within yourself, again, it's that reciprocation. What you are bringing in is what you are going to put out. So know yourself. Take the time to know yourself.
That's a whole other realm. Of just getting to know yourself. It's a beautiful feeling. A lot of us are scared of it. A lot of us are afraid to answer those hard questions. Like I tell my daughter all the time, find you something constructive to do.
Yes.
What you sitting here looking
at?
Find what builds you. What makes you happy. Money don't make nobody happy. Rich people kill themselves every day. So we should already know that doesn't make anybody happy.
Other people don't make other people happy.
Thank you. Don't go get married and expect this man to make your life grand. That's for you to do.
Don't be looking for friends to make you happy. Can't nobody make you happy. You make yourself happy, and them people are just added additions. I've learned that lesson. I've definitely been there before. I've learned that lesson. That is so important. This is stuff we need to be teaching our kids. Hell, we need to be teaching adults this. Adults don't know this basic. It's not science, but
hurt people hurt other people.
That's true.
Happy people find other happy people. Mm-hmm. And it's just that way. So if you can't focus on whatever's in your life and your mind is crowded,
you say what?
She feel like she's learning a lesson.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's
why we need to connect. That's exactly why every time I see Corey, she knows how I feel about socialization. Mm-hmm. Facebook and everything has taken that away from us. We don't meet.
Straight.
We are not meeting.
Yes.
It would be nothing to have a house party. Sierra came through. I met her through court. We are now vibing, having a conversation. How I do that on Facebook?
You can't.
How are we socializing together? We now have a whole aspect.
So I don't text. I call everybody.
Yeah.
So people don't even want to call your call me on Facebook. I don't pick up the phone. I just take text like, oh damn, you didn't put that on Facebook. You need to text it back to me. Like you need to call and say it.
True.
Put it on Facebook so I know I'm gonna see it.
That's like I'm dating because that's new for me, y'all.
Dating.
I'm not about to sit here and have a whole conversation with you via text. You better fucking call me. I can't get to know you via text message.
I'm glad you brought up dating. Just bringing that around to the light skin, dark skin. Woo! Have y'all ever, or any of y'all ever, or once upon a time, were you that girl that was like, oh, I only like light skinned boys? You was?
Oh,
wait. What did you like?
Light skin.
Oh my God.
You like getting your heart broke. You like getting your heart broke.
I know light skin.
I go tit for tat.
Right? She likes skin for tat.
I'm gonna play a game right
with heart over here. Nobody wants you. You're wrong.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Why was that though? Why was it just like?
So I don't know what it was. My grandpa is light skinned. My dad is light skinned. I don't know. My grandmother had a friend who was really dark skinned, and he used to scare the shit out of me.
Oh my
all
God!
The time.
So
I don't know.
That's what you was used to.
So then I knew that I was gonna be with. I knew I was gonna be with the light skinned guy. I knew I was gonna have a light skinned baby.
Look
at
at you.
I married a
manifestation is real.
My daughter chocolate, she's beautiful.
Yes.
But yeah, it's complete opposite of what I thought I would marry or be with.
How did it change? Did it just kind of happen naturally or what?
It happened naturally. I don't know.
Your black is good.
But it probably was
black,
because like
it's old school, but you don't go back.
Yes.
The black of the berries.
Sweet of the
Is that what it is?
Yes.
That's a lie. I wouldn't.
Amber, did you ever have well, naturally, you know what I'm saying?
I used to always say I would never date light-skinned dudes.
Really? So you...
Because I feel like all light-skinned dudes try to compete with the other person they with. I'm not competing with you.
Who baby house was on fleek? This nigga using my Aaron project. Get out.
Because like all the light skinned dudes I was attracted to was like them pretty light skins, and I already know like I'm not.
Maybe like Sierra, you trying to get your heart broken.
Exactly. So I did not go there. I never did.
That is hilarious.
And then I went to them dark skinned chocolates.
And never looked back, huh?
I did look back. I'm looking back now.
Crazy. Did you ever have like that light skin, dark skin? Like, nah.
You know what? In my life, I had strict parents. I didn't, get a chance in high school to date a lot. Mm-hmm. So my first, I think that's like my second boyfriend. He was light skinned, and I mean, he was such a gentleman to me, and it just broke my heart.
And after that, you was like,
I don't know if you could call it an affair in high school because it's high school, but we had a whole, little relationship. You go pick up your books and you look, and you're like, it's like the movie, like you drop your books, like
you actually seen him with that girl,
and I felt like everybody knew but me.
Oh, dang, that's the worst.
So my vibe then, I just was like, I'm done with looks. I'm going for whoever I'm
vibing with.
That didn't work because
fuck you, Albie Short, genuine looking ass niggas.
So I just think it's a man thing because I didn't.
I'm just playing.
The one I have now is again somebody I didn't think I would be with, but he's amazing.
Amazing.
His side.
Shout out to Ty.
He's amazing.
Way to
go. You see how I speak? He literally speaks like life back into me. We pour into each other.
Yes.
So it's amazing to have someone. We've grown up together.
Them.
We've grown up together.
I need that in my life. Where you at?
Where you? Girl.
Amber needs one. I didn't want to speak that life.
That's so important.
It's very important. Not the money, not none of that. It's the fact that, I mean, and I hate to say, you know, the leading thing, because I feel like it's an equal thing in a relationship. But I will literally trust him I will follow him.
With your life.
That's
that's
what you want to do.
It should be like that.
Yes,
even, you know, with my kids and stuff. Oh, speaking of kids, I want to ask you, so nobody has boys.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you feel about your boys and where they stand with their blackness? Or, you know, with girls viewing them, like if they get older, what do you feel like you would say something if they targeted? Because I feel like a lot of times we are not, I live in Fishers. I have seen so many women, black women, push their boys to date white women.
You're seeing black women. Black women do this.
It's almost to the point where I've seen people do it as if it's cute. You know what I mean? And then it allows for a lot of girls, like being a hairstylist, and, you know, come sit in my chair and they don't have a date to prom. And it's very sad because I have a daughter. You know, so who, you know, and I'm not trying to say, but, you know, try to think that far ahead, or, you know, even put that as my husband, like, well, don't worry about it. But seriously, who's supposed to take my baby to prom?
Exactly.
Is she going to be viewed as just because she wears her hair, you know, wears her hair curly, that she's not cute? Because a lot of those boys, my son,
don't get me started on
my
that.
17-year-old son said a girl's hair was nappy. I about lost it. Listen, you will never open your mouth to disrespect another black woman.
Ever.
Period.
I've been
like
told
never.
I would look better with my hair straight. Like I've had people legit tell me,
really,
they like me better with my hair. When are you gonna straighten your hair again? Like not like
embracing. And I don't think these men know what that does to us as women. I think that they're not speaking. I tell my son every day, you speak to women, and I mean you know, hopefully, mostly, I mean, who you date, hopefully will be a black woman, but you have to protect them because they're already up against a lot. Exactly. So even if you don't like them for whatever reason, you may not be that attracted, it's still a certain way you should say things to them. No, because I had a boy tell me when I was in middle school, I had a crush on him, he just, oh, you don't dress cool enough. You know, I literally spent the rest of my years like trying to figure out
but now you know what is cool enough.
Yeah, like,
and it's bad when a male.
Like, what's wrong with me?
When the opposite sex tell you something, that's one thing. A girl say like, that bitch hating as fuck. That bitch is hating as fuck. But when a guy tell you, be like, oh shit.
We are not teaching our boys to protect these girls like they should. Yeah. Whatever that looks like, you know. For a parent or a mother, like I tell my son, what am I? A black woman. What is your grandma? A black woman. What is your auntie? You know, a black woman. You come from something beautiful. The moment that you open your mouth and you say something bad about another black woman, you are saying something bad about every single black woman you are around. We are not taking these contaminants, and then we leave these little girls behind. What happens to these little girls?
Hold on, and then just to piggyback off your question, I know especially for Amber, because actually Amber is mixed. She's half white, half black. So even just to piggyback, I'd be interested to know, Amber, especially being that you are you know, half white, but of course, you know, your sons, you know, so obviously they have part of that in them too. So
they don't associate themselves as mixed.
They don't? No. They associate themselves as
my son calls me white.
Oh wow.
EJ's EJ calls me white.
Yeah.
All the time. He said, Mom, you are not black.
Oh.
You are white. Oh. Legitimately.
Avery tell me that.
All the time.
Avery tell me that.
I legit have arguments with my son.
She say her dad chocolate and I'm white.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So like my younger two is like, no, they come back for bat for me, but that will mean most.
So my question is, how would you feel if they brought a white girl home? I mean, technically that wouldn't be wrong. I mean, that's
in your heart. I would still be hurt.
Really, you would?
Yeah, because I.
And this is, I want to hear this because I deal with a lot of biracial girls in my, you know, where I'm located in the salon. It's very hard for them because they look at their mother and then they wonder why they don't, you know, and they're looking to me to identify with some sort of what they are.
Else.
And I think I really am interested to hear.
Well, I know my oldest son because even though I know he's not at that stage yet. Mm-hmm. Well, at least he's very honest with me. Like he talks to me about stuff, and I know he's not there yet. Thank you, Jesus. But
it's coming.
I know it's right around the corner. But any girl that he does talk to, like I'm curious if I'll ask him what the race is, and he's like, no, she's black. And I'm like, is she fair complected or dark? He just knows she's darker. So like my oldest son, he goes for darker skinned women.
Okay.
My middle son, he's only 8.
So little.
Dark
skin's where
my oldest son, he's gonna go for the dark skinned women. So at least from what I'm getting from him now, my oldest son, he is very in tune with his surroundings too, though. So like he knows, like with Trump and stuff like that, he's in tune with that type of situations.
Wow.
He's in tune with like racism and whatnot. He's conscious on some things, like is that considered racist for you to say, like things like that. So
you have to have those conversations with your kids.
Wow.
You really
and that's why I like to be very open and honest with my kids, because like honestly, with my upbringing, just talking about sex, anything with my parents, was not comfortable with that. So like for me, I just want to be, because I'm open and honest, period. I'll say just about anything, and I want my kids to be able to be open and honest and say whatever they feel and need to me. So even if my son called me white, it hurt my feelings a little bit, but at this point I don't give a shit. It's just him expressing just talking shit.
He's just talking.
Well, that's good though.
I just really am open. I really want to hear like some different opinions about this, because I struggle with that, because I went to hair school, I went to Vegas in Castleton, you know, you hear the comments that they make. You know, the things, even like in going to hair school, like what would they say? They say, oh, I want to have a baby with a black man.
Oh,
it make my parents mad. And they actually say that. Oh, yeah, they say it to us.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I want to have a little cute curly hair baby. And the one that said it really does. But, you know,
my God.
I'm just saying, they don't even know they're being targeted. They don't even know they're being targeted. And that's what I tell my son every day, is that you are being targeted. What they see, they think is cute. They don't know what it really is like.
Yeah.
And I try to make sure.
What pisses me off is you're creating a black child that you don't even know how to raise and protect that child.
And I'm not trying to say anything about that, but then they get them and they're cute when they're young, and by the time their kids are 10 and 11,
they don't know how to handle.
Yeah, the daddy is gone.
Oh, the daddy
and
is
they
gone.
bring them in the salon and let me do that.
Yeah.
That's what
they
happens.
don't know.
That's what happens, because they don't really, you know, it's not an understanding like you think, you know, of what really it is to actually embrace another culture. You know, everybody, I think it works on both ends. Some men think it's cute, and I think that these girls, they think it's cute. And I feel like it allows another, that trickles down to light skin and dark skin.
It does.
Yep. It is just a trickle down effect of all of it, you know.
There's white women that date, I'm not talking about my mama, but white women that date dark skin women, black men, they want the pretty babies. Like you hear people, like wasn't there an athlete that just talked about that recently?
Yeah. What was that?
He wanted to have it's favored and that's what I'm saying. Like I get where darker complected women have the issues with light skinned women, because it's ingrained for white women, and I understand like people hating when white women date. You know, like white women dating black men.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I even feel
that's a whole nother.
Like I feel a way about that myself. Like
that's a whole different.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like a lot
of them turn it into a race thing, and it's not. It's just literally a lot of other things.
We may have, before we go, I did have a couple more questions. You had brought up something. I can't remember exactly what you said, but I did just have a question. What was it that you said? You was just talking about, like, for instance, like you said, like you know, live in Fishers, you know, you live out here, whatever, Noblesville.
This is about our kids. This is Fishers.
So my question for you is, why do you choose to move out to places where, you know, because I mean, of course, you could be out in the communities that are. And I know
it's something that I struggle with a lot, and you know, even with my husband, especially me and my husband are very pro.
Yes,
very pro
yes,
black.
they are. They're some of the most pro blackest people I know.
But you
probably
know, at the same time, next to you too.
Yes.
But it's the, you know, it was for the education purposes in that alone. That's why I said a lot of my culture that we have, that I grew up with, I teach my kids at home. I want them to be totally comfortable. You know, I can't give them every part of it, because there's some things that I feel like growing up in a black community, you just can't get anywhere but the black community. I feel like it's something that all children, whether or not, you know, you're biracial, whatever, I think all children should experience their culture, whatever that looks like. You know, if you know, however that looks, whatever, you should experience it, because it's at the same time I can say a lot of negative things, but I can say a lot of great things about it too. It's made me who I am. We're very resilient. You don't take no crap. My kids be coming home like, Ben pushed me down. Like, come on now. Come on,
kids are so soft
and
now.
you know, they're susceptible to bullying, you know, things like that. Where in our neighborhood, you was called roasting. Like, you just went home and you got your little clapbacks ready and you just had to come back, or you just walk on the other side of the street the next day. Like, you know, it's a lot of good things that I miss. And I feel like my kids won't get this, very valuable. But it was for the education. I have a son who has a learning disability. I was in Lawrence Township, couldn't get any help. I moved to Fishers. Within a few weeks, they had an IEP set up, and he's been going strong ever since.
Wow.
Their education is ridiculous as far as how much more they're given than we are. The resources, even like going on, we had 1 or 2 bathrooms in a whole high school that worked. There you walk in, they got flat screen TVs, they got whole glass panes covering the office. It's immaculate. Now at that school, it's been fingerprints, gum, you know what I mean? It's the difference between your kids growing up and not just in the home, but in their communities feeling valuable. We have a lack of that in our communities, which is why, again, it trickles down to this light skin, dark skin thing, because there's no other way for these kids to feel valued. They're not valued for being smart. They're not valued for anything. We value in the way we look. And it's ridiculous. We need to be valued for something else. We need to look at our own community, our own people and our own women, and value them for something else other than the freaking fact that they light skin or dark skin. Oh, Sierra.
A little sneeze on
I know. A little wheezy. And, you know, so I tell them at home that this is our life here. But when you go to school, and I know this is gonna sound bad, because Adrian Peterson, the
boxer.
The guy, the football player.
Oh, my bad. I'm thinking Adrian Bronner. Yeah, Peterson.
Well, you know, James Patterson is like, also wrote this book about him, and he said how he lived 2 different lives. That's what we do every day.
Yes.
We are in this area here, but we go home and we live another way. This is nothing new to us.
Yeah.
So I teach my kids that concept, although it's not fair, but shit, nothing really is fair for us. No. So I teach them that this is your safe place. Again, I reiterate that, where you can be yourself. But when you go out the door, I have a standard of what I have to live by, you know, and work by. My level of professionalism is not what we create. It's what has been created for us. So
that's real.
We just, for the time being, we have to do what we have to do. Like everybody else, we got to survive. And that was my way of giving my son an option to survive, because his dad was kicked out of school for missing school. He didn't get the help he needed. Nobody said, well, let's stop and reevaluate you and, you know, see what you might need help on. Nothing. Wow. It's like, it's ridiculous what you see. They just take those kids, take them in and spit them out. And what are they supposed to do?
So it's like, what can we, you know, and it's like, I know it's easier, it's obviously easier said than done.
But trust me, I would much rather live with my own people.
Of course,
I tell you, little Susie and everybody.
I can't afford to live up here. Huh? I can't afford to live.
It's not that bad. I'm like, it's not that bad. People get that all the time. It's not that bad. Like, literally, and to be honest, people need to think of it a money aspect. I moved here knowing the community was growing in Fishers. Noblesville is growing. I now have a home that's worth $40,000 plus when what I purchased it for. You have to look at the investment, because that's what they do. They know money, they know all these different things, and unless we are able to infiltrate in those ways, and I say infiltrate not meaning in a spy type of way, but we need to see it, because we are struggling, and if we don't send enough kids out to bring it back, we're going to continue to struggle.
That's real.
We're going to really continue to struggle. Yeah. And I just, you know, I really would like my kids to have a fair opportunity. Then that way nobody can say, well, you don't know. Well, I be damned, he does.
And that's what it is, like you said, is bringing it back. Just as long as they know, I can understand. That's where I intercept it. That's for you to just take this and not do nothing with it. Stay in it, but bring it back. It's so many of us that do get we leave and we don't come back. And I mean, I don't come back, and then want to have the nerve to look down at.
And see, that's what I hate. I don't look down at anyone.
Yes.
Oh, that's ridiculous. But
or forget where you came from.
Sometimes, like I don't go visit. It's depressing. Yeah. A lot of us don't go back because it's hard to look at. Yeah. I looked at a flourishing area where I grew up. Go back and it looks like a ghost town.
That's how it is.
It's a struggle to even go back and see it.
Yes.
You know, but at the same time, I would like to take my kids back and see. But I would like to take them back and see what it was, not what it is now.
So we just have to start, and that's this next future
of kids.
I hope that we can buy the block back. That's exactly what, because that's the thing. It's like, if we don't, we keep moving out to these white communities and we're giving them all of our money and all of our dollars and pouring into their education system while our people are struggling.
Yeah.
So, and I know it's easier
away
said
from
than
Castleton,
done.
it's like night and day. Night and day. They have a salad bar in the elementary school. Please let me know what this is for. But now we have a bunch of, now I have a black kid here, and if I don't teach him, he's not going to be able to relate to the black kids that live here.
Exactly.
You know, now we are not, now we got something else to beef about. The fact that we don't even come from the same place. Then we throw in the fact that she may be light skinned and dark skinned. We got all these different factors
so many different
affecting
factors.
how we look at each other. And we need, like Corey said, like, I'm glad you guys had me today to join, because I really want us to be able to just start breaking these barriers down so we can start doing business with each other. We can start, you know, socializing, creating events, and just keep going forward. Let our daughters connect. You know, we need
continue
to
the sisterhood. Continue the sisterhood. I did want to ask, could you have moved out here too? Yeah. What was the reason for
education? That's the only reason. Like, I wouldn't mind living inside of 465, inside of Indianapolis, but education solely for Avery. That's the only thing I thought about.
I have no issues with my kids' education.
I was about to say, your kids go to
they go to Warren.
Warren.
Well, my kids' youngest, their school is the only school in Warren Township that, and I've made it a point for them to go to this school, is they have a Spanish program to where half their day is all Spanish. The teacher doesn't speak English.
And that's important.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they don't specifically go to...
They're in Warren, but it's just this one school. Like, they're not, like, technically, this school is not for my kids, but I applied for them to go
there. So it's similar to us moving out here then.
Yeah. But it was still where I lived at. I lived in my apartments. It's just that I moved a street down. It's still Warren Township. It's just
that's what I'm saying, because where she lives at, because her area where she lives at is predominantly black. Like, she's still in that, you know.
Right, it's all black. I mean, not all black.
Well,
yes. So, like, I love the education that they're getting. Like, both of my kids are straight A students. Jaden was supposed to be in in advanced learning, but I decided not to because I knew this teacher that he was going with was going to push him, and we already have that relationship because she's already working with my older son. So, like, I know all these teachers, and I know the connection that they already have. Like, probably next year, my son, I'm going to make him go to advance, and my daughter, she's about to be in that same book as well. They have those programs available, because my daughter's getting in trouble for answering questions too quick right now.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, but that's good. But that's and that's why I wanted to bring that up. That's the point. That's why I asked that question, because, you know, it's like we have all of this. Okay, we got to teach our kids, but at the same time, we're kind of removing our kids from what we're trying to teach them. So is that counterproductive?
An interview, I believe, about talking about that you should teach your kids to excel in whatever environment.
And they are,
and I think I'm only 35, but I feel like looking at you guys, you got so much growing.
You
got a lot of growing
for
to do.
Sure.
I really. Man, it's a blessing to be able to sit here and say, like, how much more you still have to look forward to. So that's why I tell people it's important we stay together, keep each other going. So, because we get a lot of damage, and then we got to repair it. You know what I mean? So we have to be able to depend on one another to help.
I love it.
To kind of push, not to help, get them there, but you need to be able to feel like it's okay if I come and talk to you, or
that's real.
You got an open space. We don't have to hug, but I'm here.
Yeah, but I'm here.
You get there when you're ready.
Yeah.
But
I just don't like to show emotions. It's really what it is.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
I used to get made fun of for showing. I used to show too much emotion. I think is what it was. I used to cry in front of people when I got made fun of for crying in front of people.
Yeah, and then how that's a big thing.
That's a big ass.
You guys still got some growing to do. One day you'll be ready. I cried at shit. I cried at the end of Frozen. I be crying at everything.
Oh, that's
I'm like, what the hell, Tangled? You wasn't that any Disney. I guarantee I was on there like that.
But I used to be that way too. Like, I used to be very suppressed with my emotions, but I'm a highly emotional person.
I am highly emotional, but I don't want you to see my emotions.
And I was like that for the longest time. I'm highly emotional and highly sensitive. A lot of people would never know. But when I say, I'm probably honestly one of the most sensitive people, but I just don't show that. But
it's
now,
a lot of us like
but
that.
no,
but
I'm not.
Have a safe place to
it's
show
a safe,
emotion.
and that's what it is.
We
it's
don't
a safe place. But no, now I am a big baby. Like you said, I will cry over the littlest things. Like, I don't have a problem with crying. I will break down. We had a podcast where I broke down. Like, that's just. I feel like that's so important.
And I don't know how to react to you.
I didn't know. I just looked at you.
But I would say, especially as a woman, though, I feel like it's very important to be in tune with your emotions.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan. I just don't want you to see them.
Yeah. Well, you know what? In due time, we're allowed to be vulnerable as well. Yeah. That is something that people need to be comfortable with, deciding on their own time too. Yeah. I'm not a big pusher of like,
I'm about to force you.
You can't force that. You need to come into that on your own. But again, with women, it's all about learning how to be in tune with yourself, spending time with yourself, getting to know yourself. Like, I would take that from the more you know yourself, there won't be no light skin, dark skin mess. It won't
at all.
Once you get to know yourself and you at that place, you looking at everybody from the same place. You look at everything like really put it in perspective. And I think that's why a lot of times it didn't exist for me, and it still doesn't. I fought so hard to get to where I'm at. It would be crazy for me to just. Why would that be it? Why would that be the thing that tears it all down? Like, exactly. No, I'm in this place where my heart is so full of love, and all this shit I done lost, I still found a place for love. And that means, and that doesn't mean just loving a man. No, it means loving my sisters. Like, I grew up in a house full of girls. Like, if I can't show love to them, then who the hell can I show it to? So that's just where I'm at emotionally. I'm also 35 damn years old. Okay? So I should be able to tell me. I should be able to say, hey sister, I get it. When 28, I was like, get your ass out of here. I don't want no hug right now. You know what I mean? So I get it. So that's why I say it's so wonderful about really getting to know yourself, really working on yourselves. As women, we need to have a safe place to do that. And if anybody comes to me and they talking to me, and Corey knows this, just like if I talk to her, it's safe. It's safe.
That's one thing I ain't.
I ain't never known her to be running. Me, whatever, if you around me, listen, I'm riding with you. It ain't no ifs, ands. If I got some shit to say to you, and I am 35, and let's just off the friend, being honest. But I can't be nobody's friend not being honest. Girl, I can't do that. So I sit over, and that's why I say, like, I'm okay with being alone. Don't feel sorry for me. I say I go party in my car. Trust me, I'm gonna I'll get on Facebook. I'm gonna like. I'm gonna throw out some good energy. Hope to receive it back. And I'm gonna reflect on my day, see what could have went better, see what may not. I could fix, improve, figure out how to talk to my son because he want to go do all these different things, and I'm like, holy cow, 35 years old having a 15-year-old is not easy. You a child raising a child.
Still.
So it's just a lot of things I choose, to keep my focus on. I'm trying to get out here and I'm trying to do something great.
Exactly.
I'm just trying. I don't even know what that looks like all the time.
But you just know you working towards it. That's what I'm like. As long as you know you working towards,
I'm sure. Same thing you working towards. Same thing you working towards. Like we doing the same thing. We doing the same
thing. So what we beefing for? What y'all's beefing for? Exactly.
Ain't no beef.
It ain't no beef.
It ain't got no beef for nobody.
Ain't no beef. Well, listen, this has been so great. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
Thanks for having me.
Facebook Live. I do apologize for the little glitch in the Facebook Live, but y'all stay tuned. Within about a week, we will have this full edit video on YouTube for y'all to check it out. So y'all look out for the link, and I just want to thank my girl Donyel. I love her. I knew y'all gonna love her. Y'all gonna love her. She may have to. We may have to set something up where you just, you know what I'm saying, just be a special once a month.
Oh my God, I must say y'all got me more open than I usually am too. So
girl,
come on back.
Come on back. You are welcome anytime. If you just wanna, hit us up like, look, I got some shit to say. You will. So our next episode, let me see. Did we ever discuss it?
We had like 3.
We did have 3. We were gonna, because this was
marriages, right?
Yeah, it was talking. Well, we were gonna say, what was it? Divorce, kind of like the topic of divorce, because we know that
I'm going through a separation.
I'm divorced and remarried.
See, I need to hear you. You don't have to come back.
See, she don't have to come back. Listen, I knew y'all would love Donyel. I just want to say though, and I know I keep bigging her up because I do. I love her
Corey
so much. Listen,
Jarrell knows this life that I have been on.
Listen, like you said, I love looking towards what?
Nothing.
But no, I love looking. the circle of people that I have, or that I talk to them every day, whatever, I always try to learn from them and grow from them. And Donyel, I'm telling you, she is like, me and my husband say it all the time, her husband and her, when we say we look up to them, like they are our blueprint. Like, I promise you, they are the
It just looks nice. It's a lot of work behind it. It's a lot of work behind
know.
it.
Every marriage
That's why people like, everybody wants a pretty cake, but they
don't see what goes in. Our shit ain't pretty shit. We've been together literally in May. We've been together 15 years, married for 10. That shit wasn't just like, that wasn't fair.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
But she's so right. It is not a cakewalk. But it's just so beautiful.
It.
So thank you. You coming back. You got whenever.
I need your help.
Whenever. Especially we talking about we have some that needs your experience and your guidance on that.
I just want to thank y'all for having me. I know it sounds like I come from this road that I've been on has not been easy. That's why I say it's so important. I'm glad that you guys welcome me and allow me to share my experience. But this 35 years that I've been on this earth has been filled with everything. Lots of lows. And I think that once you really get to a point where like that low is hit, where you deciding whether or not you want to keep even doing this.
Yes.
When you get back up, every day I wake up and I'm like, I still got a chance to kick ass.
Man.
So, you got to. You have it's a responsibility. So like I said, my responsibility to my sisters is real. It's not something it's not for play for me, which is why I lose friends all the time telling them the truth. It's not for play. I'm not here, just like my kids, to tell you everything you want to hear. I'm not doing you any justice by doing that.
Yes.
I'm just going to be honest. And you can take it for what it is, and you can still live your life how you like. But at the same time, it's like we need to be able to come together, create safe places, and, sit here, socialize.
Amen.
Let my sister know she's not alone.
Exactly.
You are not alone. We raising kids. We working. We got men. We lose them. They come back. Whatever.
For sure.
But we still doing it together.
At the end of the day, we got a lot more in common than we do not. So, but thank you guys. Look forward to seeing y'all 2 weeks.